Yo, what's going on, people? Welcome back to Courses Arsenal podcast. Back to business. Back to business. But this time, I'm not really sure it's the real business. Sorry, I'm late by a couple of minutes. Well, actually, 1 hour and some minutes. Problem was with I didn't get enough rest yesterday, and you guys know that it's for a fact. I didn't rest so much yesterday, but I think I'm better. Obviously, I'm doing a little bit more better than I was yesterday. So, how are you guys doing? Mikel Arteta is not getting the sack. That's the story we are looking at, and EDU has apparently confirmed that they will not be sacking Mikel Arteta. They have big plans in the future. The training and internally, the club looks so good. That's what they say. That's what he said. We're going to be talking about that and more. Is he lying? Is he telling the truth? Talk about that. There's so many things to ask yourself. If you are an Arsenal fan and you're watching this and you're listening to this, what comes to mind when sporting director says everything is going so well with the club? It says everything is going, is going on so well with the club. Everything is okay. There's nothing wrong. Let's just go through this story written by Sky. So Sky is saying EDU tells Arsenal fans to go to back Mikel Arteta and reveals the club will not be spending money in the January transfer window. Now, wait, we shall come back to that. Arsenal is not going to spend money in the January transfer window. We shall also come back to that. But before we talk about that, let's first talk about Mikel Arteta and the issues at Arsenal. EDU calls for Arsenal fans to back under fire boss Mikel Arteta, with the club 15th after 12 games and 5 points above relegation zone. Arsenal's technical director also warns disgruntled supporters that the club will not be splashing the cash during the January transfer window. So it is no doubt and no coincidence that we are not signing Dominic Szoboszlai. And it's also not doubtable that we didn't take in an offer for Dominic Szoboszlai because we knew we were not going to spend that money in the January transfer window. So this here is the full article. Arsenal technical director has asked fans to believe in the manager Mikel Arteta and insists results on the pitch do not tally with what he's seeing on the training ground. The Brazilian also warned any disgruntled supporters that the club will not be splashing the cash during the January transfer window in an attempt to remedy their current poor form. You get me? So this is what EDU said in his own words. Just believe internally here. Listen, we are doing well. You get me? Just believe internally here. Listen, we are doing well. That's what he said. And he also said, my main message is that we are not talking about only one person. It is unfair to talk about Mikel or Aubameyang because he's not scoring goals, or the goalkeeper Ban Leno because he has to stop the goals. It's also unfair to talk about one person. We are a football team. We have to talk about ourselves. Talk about we, not him. So that for me is the message. He says, the way I see things is very simple. It's normal and easy to be driven by the results. But for me, the main point is when I see something in which I can see the future, see where we go. So the way we work, the way we train, the way we behave internally, if you see the quality of the work, if you see the quality of the people, if you see properly what's happening here on a daily basis, it's nothing compared with the results. Arteta was appointed almost a year ago. Of course, you guys know that. Now, still continuing with Eda's crap, he says, if we were not talking about patience with Mikel, it would be very unfair to him because what a year we have faced, he added. Pre-season challenges, 3 months without any football matches. I'm trying to get down. I'm trying to calm down. He says Arsenal has gone through pre-season challenges, 3 months without any football matches, a lot of things changing in the club. He started and stopped, and when he started to get an understanding of all the squad, he stopped again. He didn't get a sequence to know everyone properly. It would be really unfair to Mikel to say something about that because the year was so challenging for everyone, but even more for Mikel, who has just arrived at the club. Because if you have a manager who was at the club for 2, 3, 5 years, it makes that situation easier. That's why Mikel needs always, from my side, good words. I'm still continuing. We don't talk about something external, he replied when asked about looking to buy in January. We are here to solve the problem. We have the team, we have the squad, we have the manager, we have the staff, everyone in the right place to change it. Why do people have to expect a magician to go, boom, come here, Messi, boom? It depends on us. That's what this is technical director Edu Gaspar, Arsenal, in quotes. He said, why do people have to expect a magician to go, boom, come here, Messi, boom? No, it depends on us. And he says, people might start to ask, what are you going to do in the winter window? Of course, we will try to do something, but we have the responsibility to change it. Don't wait for someone outside to come inside and be a magician, because that's not going to happen. Or if you can sign 20 players, which we are not going to do, but that's not going to work anyway. So the main problem, the main thing for me is that we as a club have to understand our problem here. That is it. Believe, because we believe, I believe. Technical director Edu Gaspar on the current situation at Arsenal. I know that was a little bit boring, but I'm going to react to it. Got nothing to do. I've got to react to it. Let me just take these 3 comments. Oscar, Arsenal can't sack Arteta. He says, Bakosi, I believe Arteta is not the problem. The problem is the whole team. They lost. They had. That's why Arsenal can't win even a single match. And then, but Edu confirmed that we are going to spend in a big money on transfer in January and signed a big name too. Okay. I don't know where to start with this. I don't know where to start. I think I'm back. I've seen the problem. Yeah, I've seen the problem. Okay. Okay. Yeah, I've seen the problem. Thank you so much for informing me that I was not being hard. I mean, why shouldn't I be hard? I should be hard. So, guys, this is it. Mikel Arteta is not getting the sack, according to EDU. He has said that we continue believing him. And I was telling John, I'm not mixed up. I know the stories I've done, and I know I've been trying to follow others around Arsenal. One, I told you about the Dominic Zobo's life story. I told you he's gonna be going to Leipzig. And I told you, that's clear that we are not going to be spending some money, right? The second thing was the speculation of the managers. I know that's what you're talking about. Allegri is in the news. If you read, John, Allegri is in the news. He's still there. Poch is in the news. Brendan Rodgers is in the news. So what the hell are you talking about? What the hell are you talking about? So please read. Bro, that team is not good to support. I have lost hope of supporting Arsenal. Really, Arsenal is a club, or we need to be striking as support. Yeah, there you go. Let me make my comments. Because I mean that's what I want to do. So Edu says the fans should be behind the manager. I totally agree. Every fan should be behind their manager, whether you're a Dortmund fan, a Bayern Munich fan, or whatever kind of fan you are, you should be behind your manager. I totally agree. I do agree. But this is a kind of manager you can't back. Guppy. This is a kind of manager we can't back for one reason. I've always told you guys, I don't hate Mikel Arteta. I hate his decisions. The things he called the non-negotiables. Those are the things I hate about Mikel Arteta. Every day he says he tries to pick the best team. He's lying. He's not picking the best team at Arsenal. Facts are facts. He's not picking the best team at Arsenal. Hector Bellerin is not one of the best players. Hector Bellerin. He's not one of the best players at Arsenal. Xhaka is not one of the best players at Arsenal. Willian is not, it's not among the best players at Arsenal right now. So if he has the non-droppables, the non-negotiables, then he's got to prove to us that he's this kind of manager who goes by merit. He has failed to do that. If you look at Edu's comments, you're going to get disgusted, like I have. But let's just comment on one of them, on one by one. One, he says, Arsenal fans should just believe internally here. Listen, we are doing well. What do you mean by internally? I mean, if you're sporting director at Arsenal, you're concerned by two things: in the internal state of the club and the result, the output. So he's saying, he's telling us, he's selling to us the idea that Arsenal is doing so well internally, although outside the results are bad. We don't need to care about the results. Let us just believe. Believe in what? This is what Robbie was asking DT yesterday on the All Guns Blazing show. That where's the evidence for us to believe? Where is the evidence for us to believe? Where do we start from? Where do we start from to believe that Arsenal is a good club? There's going to be a future. Because I know many fans believe it's going to turn around. I also want to believe that's going to turn around. But I need a reason. You just can't tell me to believe. Just believe. Believe. People believe when they're expectant. People believe when they have something to cling on to. We don't have. So you can't tell fans that believe everything's going to be okay. Believe. No. It's not true. I agree with him. I agree with Edu. He says, you can't just point at, individuals, Aubameyang, what. It's true. I mean, we are a football club. I mean, it's strong. But there are some players that are extraordinarily bad. And you've got to pick out on them. Even DT, the strongest of the Arsenal fans, who defends Mikel Arteta and his system right now, will tell you that Hector Bellerin and Granit Xhaka don't deserve to start. That is the point. So probably Edu is not watching Arsenal games, I should say. But I know he's watching them. You can't tell people that just believe. I don't condemn Leno. I don't condemn Aubameyang. I don't condemn, Lacazette for non scoring. But there are times when you have, when you look at, this player is so bad. He's just doing so bad. You get me? So that's what is happening at Arsenal. So, Edu, just believe. I'm not buying it. I'm not in it. I'm not in it. He says, the way I see things is very simple. It's not uneasy to be driven by the results. Before me, the point is when I see something which I can see in the future. Now, when is the future? I mean, Edu, when is the future? If he's telling us about the future, we've got to know, when is that future he's talking about? You get me? When is that future he's talking about? 20 years to come, 30 years to come, 40 years to come. Patience is a very expensive virtue. I understand. We've got to be patient, all right. But tell us that this manager is doing this. Don't say it's going on internally. Well, believe in the manager. Because sincerely, this football club is having a dressing room torn apart. David Louis on the other side, Mesut Ozil and Socrates on the other side, Mikel Arteta on this side, and the young players on one side. So how the hell do you tell us it's going on well internally? What is going on well internally? That's the question to ask. What is going on well internally? You know what? I just don't believe him. I don't believe him. So he says, the way we train, the way we behave internally, if you see the quality of the work, if you see the quality of people, if you see properly what's happening here on a daily basis, it's nothing to compare with the results. So training that doesn't produce results is good enough to keep an Arsenal manager around. Bravo. Bravo. Brilliant. Brilliant. So brilliant. Training that is not producing results is good enough to keep an Arsenal manager on his job because he's having quality training and quality work in training sessions. That is what Edu is telling us. Oh, let him stay. His work, he's having a good spell in training. I'm just tired of that. I'm just tired of statements like that. They will make you sick. And they make me sick. How dare you tell fans to be patient with the manager who has lost 7 games out of 12 games because he has quality in training? When has that ever made sense? Apart from our Arsenal. I mean, our Arsenal, it makes sense. And I just love people who tell me that, because I'm looking here at my stories, and one of the last stories I said, new manager, Arsenal linked to Brendan Rodgers. It's starting to be sacked. That was confirmed yesterday. The quality of training without results is enough to keep an Arsenal manager on their job. Bravo. Bravo, Arsenal. This is so good. This is so good. We are keeping a manager because they are good on the job in training. Brilliant. And he says, if we are not talking about patience with Mikel Arteta, it would be very unfair to him because what a year we have faced. Precision challenges, 3 months without football. Now, look, Edu, I don't attack people on my show. I rarely do, especially when I'm not doing a rant like today. I don't want to attack people. And I won't attack Edu because I'm not doing a rant. But look, If you're saying that Mikel Arteta had 3 months without football, why did Manchester United fans go all out and the club didn't actually stop them? You mean United was playing football then? They were not. They didn't play football. 3 months. Southampton, 3 months. They didn't play football. You know, his comments are just ridiculous. I'm telling you. Ridiculous. 3 months without football. How many clubs were playing football in those 3 months in the Premier League? How many? None. Absolutely none, because it was a time when everybody was told to quit football for some time. And we could understand. So that's no reason for Mikel Arteta to say that I'm performing poorly because we had 3 months off not playing football. Nah. Everybody was not playing football, for Christ's sake. That's the truth. Big man thing. Everybody was not playing football. So there is no excuse there. Actually, you would say, if you are not playing football as a new manager, maybe it affected him to some point, but not to a point where he cannot choose his best players. Why does he choose Cedric in Europe? Why doesn't he play Bellerin all through if he's the best right back? If if the others are just shit. I mean, doesn't make sense, does it? Patience is fine. I mean, one reason, if Mikel Arteta woke up one day and started choosing that team right, I would have double thoughts. Let's see our best players. He says that he had no time to understand these players, who is good at what and what. But he had the time to drop Ozil. He had the time to drop Saliba. That means the decisions he made were not informed. He made ill-informed decisions out of his ego, out of his stupidity. Because that is what EDU seems like saying. That the manager needs more time because wherever is happening at the club is kindly far ahead of him. So he said he had pre-season challenges, which I don't understand what he calls pre-season challenges, because we had the same pre-season like any other club that is ahead of us. 3 months without football, that was still the same. A lot of things changing at the club. What was changing? As a manager, you've got to focus on your players. That's what you have to do. How many players got out of the club? It was his decision. How many players came in? It was his decision. He said he was backed. He said he was backed. You get me? So, if he says I was backed, then I'm not supporting Mikel Arteta. Either in or out, I'm not. If he was frank enough to say that, this transfer window has been crap, we need more players. But, he's saying that after, drowning us in mud. And he says, I need to play 4-3-3. I need, I need 6 or 5 players to play 4-3-3. Why didn't you say the hell, why the hell didn't you say that in the summer? Should have said that in the summer when you were being given the responsibility to some players. But because you're turned, I know Arsenal is quite funny. It turned Mikel Arteta into head manager during the summer to shut him up, and now he has become a puppet. And now they have started selling ideas that we should support the puppet. I'm not in. Facts, I'm not in. I'm not in for the puppet. I'm not in for the puppet. I hate to support Premier League, bro. It's still key to train the big club. I knew it. They won't sack him. I like Arteta so much, but it's not good enough for Arsenal manager because he lost confidence. The problem is the board and manager. I hate Arsenal from today onward. Arteta is not serious. He doesn't know that Auba and Willian is not good enough. I just don't want to take so many comments today. I mean, I don't want to take a lot of time streaming and talking a lot about Mikel Arteta. It's the same old things we've been talking about. Almost the last how many days been talking about the same thing. Mikel Arteta, the crap, the shit at Arsenal. It's not changing. It ain't changing. Let us meet at 4 p.m. with the daily transfer talk. We missed it yesterday. We didn't have much to say about transfers. Probably today we shall have something to talk about. Smash the like button. Smash the like button right now. The subscribe button is up here. You can see. Where is that? There. So hit that button as well. It's on my screen. You can see there. Arteta is not serious. He doesn't know that Auba and Willian is not good enough. I want to comment. I want to make remarks. But I'm like, why should I make my remarks today? I had a big rant yesterday. I'm going to have a rant against Southampton. So let us wait for the Southampton game tomorrow. I'm going to be dropping a preview, predicted lineup, and so on. Make sure you guys are on. I love you. Make sure you catch me at 4 p.m. It's going to be the daily transfer update. And then at 8 p.m., I come back with Stan Kroenke out. That's the episode that's coming on. Kroenke out. Facts are facts. Kroenke out. That's the show at exactly 8 p.m. 4 p.m. transfers. Then at exactly midnight, I'll drop for you an upload. I'll be having an upload should it be midnight? Okay. I think midnight. Yeah. Have a blessed evening.